I'm sure you heard this one before. It might have come up on your feed as a motivational quote. And this is how it goes. You cannot shame yourself into change. You can only love yourself into evolution. But what does it really mean? This is what I would like to unpack with you today. Welcome to Mindfulness Alchemy for the Modern Soul, and thank you for being here with me today. So let's dive in to this powerful truth. We can't shame ourselves into change. We can only love ourselves into evolution. And this isn't just a feel good mantra, if you will. This is also backed by the science of psychology and human motivation and human behavior. So let's look at the psychology of shame versus self love and acceptance first. So, shame. Shame is the harsh critic, that relentless voice in our heads that reminds us of our past mistakes, real or perceived, our imperfections, and our challenges. And what it does really is that it amplifies them and repeats them over and over again until we believe them so strongly that we stop pursuing our goals and dreams. Now, shame can feel like a powerful motivator at times, but it is not a really good one. It is a very short lived one. Because when we rely on shame to drive change in our lives, we create a vicious cycle of self doubt and guilt, if you will, that leads to resistance and makes us feel like we are paralyzed due to these amplified negative thoughts and feelings and behavioral patterns. Self love, on the other hand, is a gentle, unwavering force, and it can be nurtured and it grows. And it becomes a phenomenal feeling of self acceptance and self forgiveness through self compassion. And it also becomes inner peace and trust and hope for the future. And essentially, it helps us grow and change in ways that are sustainable and empowering with every small step we take along the way. When we approach change from a place of self love, we are more likely to be patient and persistent and forgiving and accepting of ourselves, and therefore we are more likely to succeed. So, here are some ways self acceptance and self love can fuel our transformation. Number one is increased motivation. When we love ourselves, we are more motivated to make choices that align with our values and goals. We are less likely to sabotage our efforts. We are less likely to bully ourselves when we feel that we are making mistakes. And we are less likely to quit and give up. Number two, enhanced resilience. Self love and self acceptance helps us bounce back from setbacks and challenges. And we start looking at ourselves differently. Our inner dialogue changes from harsh words to kinder ones. We start viewing detours and seeming errors and even failures as opportunities for growth and not evidence of our unworthiness or our worthlessness or our inability to change, to grow, and to thrive. Number three is improved self efficacy. We start believing in ourselves and in our abilities, and that is crucial for change and transformation. Number four, reduced stress levels. Self love helps us manage stress and anxiety better. Why? Because we are kinder and we are more forgiving. When we are kind to ourselves, we are less likely to experience the negative effects of prolonged stress or chronic stress. We learn ways of self regulation and self care, and we take a more mindful approach to solving problems and navigating life. And number five, and this is lovely and important, stronger relationships. First of all, a stronger, kinder, and more loving and more authentic relationship with ourselves and therefore others around us. Because when we are in that state of self-love and self-acceptance and we are taking a mindful approach towards life, we are more likely to attract and maintain relationships with people who love and support us. Now, here are some practical steps we can take to cultivate self love and self acceptance. Number one is to practice and cultivate self acceptance. Anything and everything we have done or said in the past, any and every version of us is also in the past. And there is nothing, absolutely nothing we could do to change any of it. So make peace with it. It is done, it is said, it is in the past. And this may take time and practice, really. But we can get to a place of complete self acceptance where we are at peace with our past, we are at peace with all the past versions of ourselves. When we are at peace with who we are and who we were. And that is a really powerful thing. And that is really essential for growth and transformation. Number two is forgiveness. We all made mistakes in the past, and you know what? We will make mistakes in the future. Fact. So let's make friends with facts and focus on what we can learn from these so we can move forward. Number three, practice self compassion. Now, self compassion is the action that comes from empathy towards ourselves, meaning that we want to help ourselves in a kind and empowering way. Yes, I'll say this again. We want to help ourselves in a way that is kind and empowering, like we would do with a dear friend, with the same kindness and understanding that we would offer to another we really love. I hope that makes sense. Now, number four is to practice self-care and self-regulation and mindfulness. We must prioritize these activities that nourish our mind and our body and our soul. It is an absolute must, and I can't emphasize this enough. Practice self care, self regulation, and mindfulness. And number five is to set goals and celebrate achievements. First of all, dare to dream big without fear and limitations. It is a wonderful way to allow ourselves to entertain ideas where everything in our lives works out even better than we could ever hope for. It keeps us inspired, and that is important. But it is also important to use our goal setting as a practical tool where we paint the big picture And then we are able to break down these big goals into smaller ones, into manageable action steps. So we feel motivated and not overwhelmed by the transformation we are going through, not overwhelmed by the things we wish to achieve. Because our aim is to reach our goals and also to feel a sense of accomplishment when we reach each milestone, no matter how small or how big. Acknowledging our achievements and giving ourselves credit is a wonderful way to celebrate ourselves and also to allow and train ourselves, so to speak, to enjoy the journey. So remember that transformation and our evolution is ongoing. It is a process, it never ends. But when we neglect ourselves, when we bully ourselves, when we shame ourselves, we cannot change for the better. So please know that self acceptance, self compassion, self love, and care are things that we can and should cultivate, nurture, and grow continuously. This is the art of small steps, an ongoing evolution and not a destination. It is about consistently and continuously choosing ourselves, making peace with past versions of ourselves, embracing who we are right now in this present moment, and allowing ourselves to grow and become who we wish to be, unlocking our full potential along the way, and creating a life for ourselves that we truly love living. So, I hope you enjoy this recording. And if so, please remember to like, share, subscribe, follow, all the good stuff. I really appreciate it. And I'll leave you with all of this for now. But I hope to see you next time.